All right, we're ready to begin the Hampton University football press conference leading up to the Jackson State game this week. Open up, Mark. Do you have a question?
Yeah, guys. So you've been hitting everybody. You've been hitting each other for so long. I would guess you guys are pretty antsy to get out there and crack somebody a different color jersey. Just kind of the excitement ahead of this first game for you guys.
Just fired up, ready to get after it. We've been hitting each other since the spring, so we just fired up, ready to get after it, compete.
Yes, sir. I'd say the same as well. Fired up, just ready to show our physicalness. We've been working all year round, man, trying to just prepare for this moment.
Jackson State, correct?
Yes, sir.
So it's a team that was kind of, put on the map when Dion was there. And you guys get a chance to, kind of go and ruin their opener on the road. I mean, do you guys kind of, just relish in that thought of getting in there and kind of spoiling their opener?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's your approach to playing on the road? You know what I mean? I mean, everyone's cheering against you, but all you have are your brothers beside you. I mean, what's kind of your approach to playing on the road, and how do you get excited for it?
Just feeding off each other energy. That's how we get excited for the game, and just staying disciplined, staying focused throughout the week, preparing the right way. Going into an opponent like that, you can't really worry about the name. Just got to worry about showing up and doing what we do.
Right. I say the same thing, man. It's all about preparation. I feel like just preparing all week and, just knowing that it's a goal and it's a standard and believing in that goal.
How do you guys like where the team is coming out of camp? Obviously, you just put in some pretty grueling hours there on the practice field. How do you guys feel about where you guys are right now going into the first game?
We feel good. We got some new guys. We got some old guys. We feel good. We got some transfers. I mean, we're in a way better spot than the spring. In the spring, it was kind of ups and downs, but we didn't put the pieces together. Now it's time to show what we can do on Saturday.
And I say the same thing, man, and I would like to say it's more so we have a lot of playmakers, and I see that every day at practice, every day and out, man. It's just a lot of playmakers, a lot of guys that can make plays, and I'm sure everybody will notice that once we step in the lights.
And then lastly for you, Coach Boykin had an entire spring to lead the program, and now, going in and getting everything underway. How are things feeling under his leadership and just the cohesiveness of kind of knowing who your coach is going to be and everything like that?
You hit it on point, just leadership. You preach that every day, leadership, attention to detail, just staying locked in. We can't really get too big-headed. We can't get under the weather. We just got to focus on get better each and every day. Put our best foot forward.
It's a standard, and we try to reach that standard every day, and we try to hold everybody accountable. When we see guys not trying to get to that level or not trying to see that goal, we call it out, and it's just a standard, man. We try to hold it to everybody every day.
That's cool. I like that. And then I'll fire one more at you. Loaded question here a little bit, but what would it mean for you guys to get this first win on the road, start out 1-0, and get some momentum just going into the rest of your schedule?
Just proving ourselves right, because we know we can do it. We know we can compete. We just got to show up and do it. We know what we can do. We just got to show up and do it. It's going to take the whole 60 minutes to compete. If we're going to have some adversity we're going to go through, we just got to have a steady head and just go. We just got to go, let it all up.
Yes, sir. It's always good starting 1-0. So, that's always a great thing. And that's what we want. That's our goal. And we're going to do everything we can to reach that goal.
No doubt, guys. That's all I have. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this today.
Yes, sir.
I've got a question for both of you. We mentioned the Jackson State game. What's it like to start the season off with a team that's nationally ranked, won the MEAC title last year, won the Celebration Bowl? Obviously, a really tough game to begin with. What's it like? Let's start off with Ja'Quan.
I say it's a great opportunity. It's a blessing. You don't get these opportunities as much. You gotta take this opportunity and do something with it. That's why I say, just prepare and finish, and that's what we have to do.
Just taking advantage of the opportunity. We can't really worry about the name. We know he was national ranked. Can't really worry about that. We just got to focus on us. Worry about our keys and assignment, and just, like I said, just go. Like I like playing. We like playing against competition. I'm glad we starting off with a national ranked team. So
All right, I think that's all the questions for the players.
Okay, all right, you guys.
yes, sir.
Hey, thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
you.
Appreciate you.
Talk about the makeup and roster and the team philosophy.
We went out, we signed 23 freshmen this past recruiting class. We probably brought in another 15, transfer guys on top of, what we already had. And so, we just went out. And again, I know everybody uses this interim tag, but I never looked at it as an interim head coach. I just, hey, once they said, hey, you're the coach, I just went to work, put my head down and made sure that, I did all the things that I could possibly do to put this program in the up direction. And that's what we did. So for me, it wasn't anything, special. It's just, hey, go to work. This is what you would do as a head coach. What's your philosophy in recruiting? That was my philosophy was, let's bring in some young talent that, you can go out there and get, and then let's find the right pieces for those guys that are going to transfer in. We had some guys that, went into the transfer portal, and so you got to plug in some pieces. And so we plugged in pieces, hired some coaches and we rolled our sleeves up and went to work.
Coaching also has coaching steps.
We hired a new quarterbacks coach, offensive coordinator, and he was here with us in the past. He was here in the 22 season. Ollie Taylor, I thought he did a great job here when he coached the wideouts. Moved on, and I brought him back. Mark Yellock, D-line coach. Coach Ray coached our D tackles. And so we've also brought in a new strength and conditioning coach, Mike Morris, who has done a phenomenal job with our young men. So we were able to bring in three new position coaches and a strength and conditioning coach. So and then we also brought in a tight ends coach who has ties here at Hampton and played here at Hampton, and Delbert Tyler, and he does a phenomenal job coaching our tight ends and our recruiting coordinators. So, we end up bringing in some new guys, but all of them are great ball coaches with a wealth of knowledge, and I'm pleased at where we're at with those guys right now.
Am I good to go, Mike? Am I good to ask?
Go right ahead.
Cool. So, hey, Coach, thanks a lot for doing this. I appreciate it. Hey, first off, your first calendar year leading the program, correct? Your first full calendar year?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, I mean, with that, are you naturally further ahead going into week one than you were at this point last season?
I mean, I would say so, of course. Last year you get the job in May and you're still trying to figure out things, and now here we are now. So a lot of the things as far as planning, how summer camp is supposed to look, how fall camp is supposed to look, how do you want to practice, going into the first game, all those things, you've done already. And so now you feel like, okay, there's some other things that we can work on. And I don't have to spend so much time. I feel like last year, I spent more time doing administration work than X's and O's. And so now, because some of that foundation is already in place, I'm able to kind of do more with the X's and O's, which, you always, as a head coach, you don't want to be too far removed from it. So gave me a chance now to kind of get back to the X's and O's of the game.
Yeah, you got to delegate, Coach, right? You got to delegate some of that. You have the people's MVP, Mike Baldwin, there on your staff.
Right.
So hey, Jackson State, a good opening test for you guys, good barometer. Obviously, Dion going there kind of put them on the map maybe a little bit more, but still now a good test for you guys.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to about getting on the road and getting down there and seeing how you guys match up?
Again, Coach Taylor has done a great job. He was already on that staff with Dion, and so he was a player there, so he understands the tradition there. He understands what it means to be successful down there, and so him and his staff have done a great job. They got their quarterback, Morgan, who's back. They got a transfer wide receiver who's been phenomenal. They've got a running back who was more of a specialist guy, now has a chance to play running back. So offensively, that's who they are. They're big and long up front. Defensively, they've got some guys up front. They got a nose tackle that's all American, all conference, everything. They've got a linebacker that's a 6'3", 230 guy. They play fast, they're physical. So all of that, you get a chance to kind of see, okay, where do we stack up against a team who's had a lot of success. We're trying to get to that point in this program where we're competing for playoffs and championships and things like that. So of course, to have an opponent like this as your first game, you really get to see where you stack up with the elite teams in college football.
And between camp and your first game, we're contractually obligated to ask if you guys are looking forward to hitting a team in a different color jersey.
Of course, after a while, at first it's fun, it's exciting, and then it kind of just levels out because at the same time you play hard, but you also know it's your teammate, and so there's that little bit that you kind of lay off a little because again you're not trying to take your own teammate out, but when you're playing a different color jersey, it's hey man, I can be full go, full blast because I don't know this guy, and so of course our guys are chopping at the bit to be able to say, okay, we get to play somebody that doesn't have the same color uniform that we do.
I know this is kind of I guess, a simple, loaded question, but how do you like the makeup of your team this year? I mean, it sounds like you're pretty optimistic about the holes you filled with the signings you had, and you feel like you guys feel like you're more talented maybe this year than you were last year at this time.
Yeah, I like where we're at. We have a good mixture of old and young and kind of in between. I think we're you know where we're at talent wise. Again, you can't really gauge until you play this first game, but talent wise, I like what we're at. Are we talented? I don't know. Do I feel like we're a closer knit team? I do. We were able to recruit guys that we've had a chance to get to know, and they know what we want. Again, when you're when you have somebody else's roster, different people want different things. What kind of defense? That player may not fit the system that you're trying to run. And so there's different things, but I like where we are. Again, I think we have some young guys that are very, very talented. How good would they be in game one? I don't know. How good would they be by week 4? Probably a lot better. And so, we've got guys that have played, but we don't have a bunch of guys who have started a lot of football, but played football. And so there is a difference when you say, yeah, I'm not the starting running back, I'm the third running back, but I get in. That's a little different pressure, so to speak, when now all of a sudden you're the number 1 or you're the number 2 guy. It's a little different. So, but we do have guys that have played college football. Now, how do they react being the number 1 or the number 2 guy?
Yeah, speaking of that, and apologies if I missed this somewhere along the way, but have you announced a QB1 yet?
I
You
have
knew
not.
with that before
I
I even
knew.
got it out.
Well, I'll say this: we know in-house who QB1 and QB2 is, so we haven't made it public.
Not
But
letting it out of the house.
in-house,
Yeah, okay.
not outside the house, we have not made that public.
Fair enough. Good way to get people to tune in Saturday. And then last one for me, Coach. And again, kind of a simple one here, but what would it mean for you guys? All games are the same, but to get out and win that first one and start out 1-0, what would that mean for this program?
Oh, a lot. You're playing against a historic program who has a lot of tradition. And it up jumps your program. You're playing a team that's nationally ranked. You're playing a team that's won championships. You're playing a team that is picked to win it and do it again. And so, it gives your team that morale. It gives your team that sense of, okay, everything, the work that we've put in since spring to now has paid off, and then it kickstarts you. So, of course, like everybody wants to win that first game because it is important, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world either. But of course, you want to start off 1-0 and take that program for that next step.
That's all from me. Coach, thanks a lot for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Coach, Mark, before you leave, Coach, did you say something to the two players here, Harold O'Neal, who are on the defense, and Ja'Quan Snipes on offense, running back? You say a little bit about both of those players.
Yeah, both great young men. Snipes is probably a little closer to my heart because he's been here for the last 5 years, and I've been here with him. I had a chance to recruit him. So I really got to know him over these last 5 years. Excited for him. He's paid his dues. He's been through a lot of stuff, and now he finally gets to step into those shoes that he's always wanted to step in. And just excited to see his leadership and what he's doing for this program. With O'Neal, we got him here in January. Really talented, really liked him just as a person. And he's done a great job on the defensive side of, leading that group and being a spokesman for them to kind of, get them to go. And I also think too, he's done a great job with the team. He's bonded well. In that short period of time, he's done a great job of not just with the defensive players, but the whole team of just bonding with them all. And that's been a blessing to see that.
Thanks, Coach. Any other questions? Great, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Go get them.
Yes, sir.